Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Gyle here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. I've got a ladder match for you guys and gals today. Before we crack on with that, I'd like to reiterate one more time that the survey poll for which maps you want in and out of the ladder is still running. You can find that link at the top of the What's New page tab at the bottom left when you start FAF. And you've also got another link there which will let you see the current voting trends, see where the stats are at the moment on the votes that have been cast. And yeah, you can choose what maps you want in and out for next season. All very exciting. Important to exercise your democratic rights and all that. Today's game is going to take place on Canis 4v4. Let's head on over there and see how these guys are going to get on. So at the top, in the blue corner, going Cybrin, we have Yann. Haven't seen that much of this guy, but he's comparable in rank to his opponent Chosen, which we'll be looking at just a second. He's going land first, connecting a couple of P-gens for adjacency and also getting the adjacency on the first mech, so nothing too outrageous there in terms of opening. Down here we've got Chosen in the red corner who's going Aeon, also opening land, couple of P-gens, some mechs, nothing scary there. I know I've cast one or two of Chosen recently, and I can't help it, he seems to be on FAF more than any human would deem possible. I don't quite know how he's playing so many games every day. People keep sending me his replays, and some of them just have to be cast. I can't help it. So if it feels like I'm favouring any one person, do speak out. And also, I've had a few requests from people, guys, that I'm not previewing or showing enough mods. I don't have a huge aversion to do them. I don't know a great deal about, say, Black Ops and stuff like that as much as I should do all of the extra units. But to be honest, I don't get sent that many replays. So if you want to see more modded games, feel free to send them in, guys. And as always, I promise I will take a look. Taking a look anyway at what these guys are bringing off the conveyor belt to begin with. Chosen is going all engineers. He's going second air as well, getting the hookup on that hydrocarbon. It's not getting any kind of lab play out early on, it wouldn't seem. Much the same as Yann doesn't seem to be either, who's also going second air. So both these guys perhaps looking to do their early harass in the air, get some bombers on the scene. Obviously mass not such a problem on Canis 4v4, you've got tons in the locale, so as always it's a map that escalates quickly, and power is usually your bottleneck. You can see high priorities up here for Yann, working on those hydros, needs to get them in place before he starts bottlenecking too hard. Chosen a little bit slower on the uptake with the power. Be interesting to see actually how his build order hits him in the power. You can see he's minus 85 net for the moment, and he's about to deplete, so I would say that almost looks like a mild error from Chosen. Yann is looking a little bit better, and when that hydrocarbon finishes, he will be in even better shape with another one not far behind it. And look at the size of the mass bar already. It fills up so quickly when you've got this many mass points in the locale. So another hydrocarbon online, another one soon behind it. So Yann, in terms of early eco, I would say probably getting the better of Chosen. Chosen still having colossal power issues. He is working on that first bomber though, so he's going for some harass. Very important as well if you're going to go for early bombers to make them count, because you will be setting yourself back slightly obviously on power. He's sending it out now, so have to see where he takes it. Of course it's quite difficult on a map of this kind of shape to harass your opponent into the ground with the early bomber, because he's got so many mass points immediately close to him. Usually it's going to hold him up a lot more if he has to send those early engineers out far afield and you're slowing him up by taking them out before he can get those mass points online. But we will see how that strategy works for him. First interceptor coming in over the top from Yann, getting a little bit of scouting intel. Bomber coming in to follow. Couple of engineers looking slightly vulnerable. He's going to go straight after the engineer by this power plant. That will cancel that build queue. Slightly annoying for Chosen, who at last glance was having power issues and still is. So the best thing Yann could possibly be doing at the moment is going after anything that's building power or any kind of power structures. Doesn't quite have enough bombers to get in the air and start going after hydrocarbons or anything like that. If he can get down here and take those two engineers out, that would be very juicy indeed. Indeed he does. That Tech 1 hydrocarbon will be stopped at around the 75% mark. Very irritating indeed. And that means that Chosen's power issues will continue. Bombers coming in now for Chosen over the top of Yann's base. Looks like he manages to pick up a couple of engineers there. Not too shabby. Of course, Yann's eco looking a lot more healthy at this early stage. And the first kind of major group of spam coming down the middle from Yann, working his way towards the southern right aperture of the river, the kind of right land bridge. Aurora's getting caught by Mantis on their way down. Of course, need to keep their distance, tin foil as they are. Coupled in a couple of Medusas, or a Medusa in with that pack, so looks like Yann's getting some nice unit comp in there. Needs that, the power of the Medusa to knock down the structures. A little bit of an interceptor fracas over Chosen's main base. Chosen's going to win. For the moment, it looks like Chosen's actually quite heavily ahead in the air game. And in terms of units on the ground, things not going so well. He's managed to take out a couple of mexes, but that Aurora, Hero Aurora, will not be long with us, I don't think. I'm actually seeing some T2 mass points in play for Chosen already, and he's working on an upgrade on his comm. How are we doing on T2 mexes up here? Yann deciding not to go for any T2 mexes yet. Actually, I tell a lie, he's got one in place. But look at this nice little run by into the main base of Chosen. Just skirting past the edge. Medusas helpfully with their EMP knocking out that Eruptor, just allowing the Mantis to get past into the back of the base. Could do with taking out these engineers. Stop this one here from getting another PD in place, which he does. Now Chosen's got all kinds of problems. He's got a bunch of Mantis chilling in the back of his base. Looks like he's going to lose all 4 of those mass points. If he skirts right, he could lose that radar as well. But lots and lots of spam just pouring south into Chosen's base. He's gone full-on turtle mode. You can see PDs going up everywhere, or at least plan to go up everywhere. That one's not going to get finished at all. Now he's got gaping holes in his defenses, both on the left and right flank, and the torrent of spam, the tidal wave of spam coming from the north, doesn't seem to be ceasing anytime soon. Chosen's actually managed to get quite a lot of mexes upgraded, a couple more T2 ones down here. Yann could do with advancing forward slightly and taking out this build capacity that's working on that Eruptor, but of course he won't be privy to that information. Skirts south wisely, and another run by happening on the right hand side. This land bridge is completely devoid of any kind of security for Chosen. And suddenly at minute 8 to 9, Chosen finds himself under very hard pressure. All over the shop, you've just got Mantis pouring in the windows. They literally are more like replicators than they ever have been. Nice bit of camera work there, apologies. We've got a T2 upgrade, so Chosen looking to hunker down. It looks like it's going for tech versus spam. Working on engineers for the moment. No, he's not. He's going straight for T3. So we're going to have a holding game now for Chosen. The question is he going to be able to hold out while he gets to T3 tech? If he can get those first Harbingers out, he might be able to turn this game around. But the problem is, look at the production capabilities of Yann. So many factories. 26 factories, that would seem. That's insane. Absolutely insane. But lots of Mantis pouring in the right-hand aperture still from Yann. Luckily for Chosen, he's managed to get those Eruptors back in place. So there's some element of security, but of course if Yann starts increasing the amount of Medusas in the mix, there are some coming down in the left-hand side of the map. Not so much on the right, coming across the land bridge. Chosen trying to withdraw with his Auroras, utilize that range advantage that they have. Ever so difficult. And we're getting to around 45% on that T3 land factory. The question is, will he even have the eco to produce effectively? You could see the carving up of the map that Yann is doing by sending his units directly south down these two avenues. It's cutting off this kind of area of the map. I'm amazed he hasn't sent at least a couple of units down here to this plateau. He could have grabbed these 3 mass points, stopped this engineer that's working on a land factory. Looking at 65% now on T3 on that factory. The first few land factories are going down at the front. Got a lot of Oblivion turrets going up in the middle. Of course, Oblivion turrets are ideally suited to this situation thanks to their splash. Arguably the most effective PD against low order spam en masse, especially when they all group up in tight formation. Get trapped on stuff. Chosen still working on PD, and he has completed T3. Now he needs to get Harbingers out of there as soon as humanly possible. He starts work on them immediately. This is a lovely little bit of holding out he's been doing. 13 minutes. He's been under this kind of pressure for around 5 minutes now, and he's managed to hold on. Still has his central base intact, but look at the map control he's yielded. Surprised just a few units wouldn't really detract from his attacking power, Yann. He just needs to send a few units down here and really corner Chosen into his base. First Harbinger off the conveyor belt, starts firing immediately. That will afford him some room. He's going to hang a right turn around this rock and start work on the immediate threat that's coming across the land bridge on the right hand side. There's also another issue on the left-hand side once again. More Mantis pouring in. There are Oblivion turrets in place that are doing a very nice job of tidying that up. So many PDs about the place for Chosen. Usually see Chosen go quite so hardcore turtle. This is an excellent example of how spam doesn't always overrun tech. And making 1 or 2 minor errors so far in terms of not taking out these corners, but hasn't done a lot else wrong, I shouldn't think. Harbinger lost his shield for the moment, but under no real pressure. The Chosen up front, looking slightly isolated, has a couple of Harbingers in play. Needs to be so careful. If he loses this T3 land factory, it's all over. Sure, that will be a target of opportunity for Yann as he starts pouring in with his Mantis left, right and center. Just doesn't seem to have the killing power. You can see a few Medusas coming in now in the background, focusing on erratic stuff, different units here and there, not consolidating his forces as best he could. Pouring in now from the left aperture. Chosen still up front, working now on Oblivion turrets, trying to put some distance between Yann and his factory, trying to keep it as safe as humanly possible. It really is the lifeline that's keeping him in the game at the moment, but at the same time, those Harbingers, everyone that goes online seems to survive, as you'd expect. So bit by bit, Chosen is increasing his T3. And for the moment, Yann just seems to be making no ground. But look at the amount of stuff coming out of his base. Still all T1. Still don't see any higher tech in that at all. And I think that could be a mistake from Yann. If we take a quick look at how he's doing eco, he is maxed out on eco. Chosen's floating a little bit of mass, but I think he could certainly afford to get 1 or 2 factories on the upgrade, at least start throwing some T2 in there. If he could start getting some stopping power and take out that factory, maybe some hoplites from range, take out the engineers supporting that factory, he might be able to stem the tide of Harbingers, which is killing him at the moment. Every minute this goes on, Chosen seems to be making a little bit more ground. So many units coming across that land bridge. And now the opportunity seems to have gone over here as well. 3 T1 PDs down there. Although there are a few Medusas in the mix that could help to deal with it, it's not going to be nearly as easy as it would have been 5 minutes ago. And still, there's units over here that could be taken out. 3 mass points, providing extra mass. Chosen could go down, and bit by bit he's building up on Auroras down here as well. Just think Yann has been stuck on this kill, 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 finish it. He knows he's kind of had Chosen penned into his base. He's been trying to end it for so long now. I feel like you need to reassess. If it's not working at this point, something needs to be done. Oblivion turrets have been destroyed by that last push. He's managed to get some shields up though. And now, bit by bit, Chosen is starting to push back. He's making his way up the right-hand side. Yann's ACU is way out in the middle. Doesn't want to get caught out by that, but we've got a Corsair on the field, so Yann has made the transition to T2 air. Starting to build up on fighter bombers. This could be where he changes things up. Maybe looking to go for some kind of snipe, and if he gets enough units back in there, takes the shield down, he might be able to defeat Chosen with a Corsair rush. Not seeing any static flak in place, so they would get a couple of passes in at least for the moment. A little bit of a counter push happening down here in terms of Auroras, but of course Aurora's so tinfoil, they're not using their reach advantage. So that's not going to be a win at all for Chosen, who has to back off. At the same time, Yann also backs off, but he definitely had the upper hand there. It doesn't want to advance too far, of course. He doesn't stand much of a chance against those Eruptors without more Medusas in the mix. I can see he's got 1 or 2 in that band. But a serious quantity of T1 massing in the middle now. And he's actually turned around Chosen. He's headed back south. Wants to clean out this area. He's trying to forge some kind of fortification on this bottom half of the map, reclaim map control in a slow, methodical way, rather than just rushing straight forward to Yann's base and trying to kill the ACU or create some kind of critical damage. Finally, though, Yann has dispatched a portion of his army and lost very little of it, I would say, and managed to take out all of the stuff that was down there. It should have happened a while ago. Harbingers still just not being countered at all. Mantis and Medusa, no matter how numerous, are going to have so much trouble countering Mass Harbinger. Although, having said that, the majority of them have been sent on other missions. Chosen looking slightly overwhelmed suddenly. He's working on as much T1 PD as he can get his hands on. Shields offering him some protection, but are collapsing fast. There goes the last one. Chosen now incredibly exposed. Why he's not being gone after in a big way, I don't know. He could potentially finish. I guess he's kind of run out of troops very quickly indeed, so maybe not the right call after all. But another attack coming in. If these were coordinated a little bit better or timed a little bit better, and that came in at the same time, may have been able to do something, but he really feels he needs to get rid of that factory. Corsairs coming in over the top. Chosen down to around 6,800 hit points. He has that shield for protection, although it's at half hit points. Needs to get some ascendants or something in play to shoot down those Corsairs. Finally, they're getting popped out of the sky. He's actually got a SAM in place, which for that number was doing the job just fine. Again, still just torrents of spam and not much else. Things look dicey slightly for Chosen there for a moment with that Corsair rush, but wasn't quite enough to take him down as we passed 22 minutes. Quite astounding how well Chosen has managed to stay in this game, and it just does show you that spam does not always beat tech. I've seen a lot of comments recently saying that all this game is spam, and that's just not the case. Here's Chosen. He's lost virtually complete map control, and he just doesn't look like dying anytime soon, thanks to these Harbingers and the fact that his opponent refuses to tech up. He's made that tech switch in the air, still producing Corsairs, but still not seeing any T2 land at all. We've actually got a little bit of a push happening from some Harbs and some Auroras over on the left-hand side from Chosen. And Yet another assault on the main base. This has been going on now for the best part of 15 minutes. Chosen's done a remarkable job of staying in this. Little run-by attempt happening on the right-hand side. That forward eruptor has been taken out, I assume, by Medusa Fire. But there's just too much PD coverage coming from the center and from the right-hand side. Chosen got a very nice mix of Oblivions and Eruptors. Coupled that with the Harbingers. And at the moment, Yann just doesn't have the tools. He's got numbers, but nothing in there that's doing any real damage. Still pumping out Corsairs. He's got a healthy bunch of them now. Looks to be 8 to 10 of them. But look at this push happening from the right hand side. This little mini base that's gone up from Chosen. He's sending Auroras up around the back of the map, and this could be problems for Yann. All of his forces is located in the central section of the map, and is just perma heading south at the moment. If he doesn't protect his flanks, he could find his own base under attack very soon. And again, a mild overflow of troops, just making it into the fringes of Chosen's base, but not able to cause any significant damage. You can see the amount of structures that have gone down and been destroyed from the deformation of the land. Absolutely crazy. But Chosen under fire again. Another Corsair rush. This time there's a whole bunch of Ascendants on the ground. I don't think they'll get a second pass, as they just fall out of the sky one after another. 2 left, 1 left, none left. Chosen still safe, sitting pretty on 7,500 HP. Got his shield for protection and a whole bunch of Harbs up front. Still not looking like any danger, and the Auroras have crossed over at the back of Yann's base. They're sitting there for the moment. Chosen could be engaging with them, but he's a little busy right now, I guess. Another flood of Mantis and Medusa's coming in the left-hand side, and is actually looking a little bit open. Thank goodness he's got the Oblivions in the center of his base. It's providing excellent ranged coverage. Hydrocarbon probably not going to make it out of this alive, but the Auroras are now engaging the back. First couple of mass points down. He has got Corsairs. He could be using them to take out these units, but taking a look at Yann, he's got no intel at all. He doesn't know that this stuff's coming. And the Harbs have crossed over as well. He has just been attack, attack, attack all game. If he had better intel, he could be taking out all of this stuff with the Corsairs. Currently, Chosen doesn't have a lot in the air. He's been concentrating so hard on trying to kill him. He's making mild breakthroughs on this left-hand side, but he's completely open. Harbingers are now in the base. I don't think there's anything Yann can do about it. Oh, dude. He must just be kicking himself. He had it. He knows he had it. Bumping this back up to +1 as the majority of that body of Auroras comes in from the right-hand side. And all of the resourcing options disappear for Yann one by one. Build capacity going pop all over the shop. Still those Corsairs. I guess he's still trying to go for some kind of snipe, but look at the bubble coverage over on Chosen's comm. No hope whatsoever. Too many Ascendants are never even going to get a second pass. They were all interceptors. Excuse me for my mistake there. They're going to come in now. Yann throws up the GG though. He knows that that's not going to be successful. Takes out one shield and probably gets insted by all of that flak. His base is in tatters. He's saying he made so many errors. His most crucial error was not upgrading, and Chosen agrees. Certainly could have done it bit by bit, but he could have staved this off as well practically at the end if he'd just had some intel. Simple T2 radar would have done the trick, and he promptly control Ks down here. That is the end of the game. Very unfortunate, Yann. Nicely played though. Have you ever seen spam like that? So rarely, and well done Chosen for surviving. Absolutely outrageous. Can't quite believe it. It's unreal. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. More to come soon with some other types of content which we'll be uploading soon as well. like I say, guys, keep the replays coming, and if you do play with different types of mods, be it Phantoms, Black Ops, I will consider them, I promise. I actually really like Phantom games. I'm very open to the idea, especially of casting a decent Phantom game, but if you're going to send me some Phantom game replays, please make sure that it's not an hour-long build-up. Try and send me one where there's lots of action and it kicks off after about 15 minutes, or at least the first couple of engagements. It's just, there's only so much you can say about 6 people macroing hard for an hour, if you know what I mean. It makes it hard to comment on. But anyway, that's enough from me now, guys. More to come soon. As always, stay well and stay safe, and I will see you very soon. This is Gyle signing out.